Before we begin, thank you very much to a convoy so big he imploded from his gigantic size and the Matrix had to crown a new one. For pitching in over on Kofi, I'm not sure we could. Okay, so we've already had like galaxy size convoys in this like weird marathon of convoy sizes we're apparently stuck with now. Um, I'm not sure if we would survive a convoy that imploded at that size. Because we've already theoretically realized that, like, convoys that are the size of multiple galaxies can apparently exist. So that would have to be one even bigger. If that one imploded, I don't think there'd be anyone left to crown a new Matrix on. Huh. I'll let you all think about that one, but thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for helping to keep the channel going and the daily content coming. It's Monday, time for a news roundup, and I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, even though I was right. It shot me in the foot to try and do a news roundup the night before because, we now have to talk about 86 Final Battle Optimus now. But I'm not worried this time because there is so much going on in the news. There's no way I'm not going to have enough to talk about next week. I'm not worried about missing something on Monday this time unless it's something absolutely gigantic, in which case we'll just do a video on Tuesday. Not a big deal. But we're going to start with the reveals of the week, which is the final two primes, Nexus Prime and Liege Maximo. So let's talk about the interesting one first. Liege Maximo looks fantastic. Like, it looks like a decent incarnation of the Generation 2 character. A little bit of the IDW design thrown in there just to kind of calm it down a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like that the darts have turned into essentially a missile launcher. Like, when you tell me that his little, like, gimmick, his special item is like a set of darts, I'm not exactly expecting anything really all that thrilling. Missile launcher helps though. Vehicle mode looks really interesting. That's a really menacing spaceship. It looks like a demon goat head from Doom, you know? It looks like the altar of the altar of sin. Some Doom expert is going to correct me in the comment section if I got the name of the boss wrong. You know which one I'm talking about anyway. Icon of Sin. There we go. That's the one. No, I really like the look of it. Like, this is what I expect out of the 13 primes. It looks ancient, crude, alien, unique, which is what I kind of expected and like out of these. Also, just kind of take a look at those big shoulder spikes behind him. You remember that listing for a Unicron soldier that we had? There was like a weird mystery leader class toy. I think we figured out where it's going to come from. And then we talk about, weirdly, like, the first time I think a Transformer toy itself has been controversial. Like, we have had controversial Transformers in naming schemes, but I've never heard the fandom, like, universally frustrated and upset with any toy like they have been Nexus Prime. We did a whole video out of it. There was a lot of comments. So apparently, I'm not the only one who's disappointed by this thing. I think compared to look at him. Look at him compared to Liege. You know, like, he's just gonna stand out. He looks too generic, he looks too simple, he doesn't look ancient, he looks too bright. There's so many things wrong with it. I kind of hate how it looks in the robot mode. I really hate how it looks in the vehicle mode. I'm pretty sure that's a spaceship you fight on some Atari game I can't think of. It looks like it came out of Tron. It's not a great vehicle. And of course, you know, they don't advertise anything else on the back, even though he wouldn't look this weird unless they had something else going on with it. I did a whole video about this just a couple days ago. You go watch that for yourselves. We don't have to get into it too much. However, there was such a panic mode from Hasbro over this that they actually had to have Mark Marr rush out some photos of what else that thing does. So the disappointment is, well, one, it doesn't look like any of the designs they previewed for it or any of the past designs for Nexus Prime. But also, where was the combination system? He's supposed to be the original combiner. And now we know. He turns into a torso for the age of the Prime combiners. And the idea is that, like, you rotate the chest panel around 180 degrees, plug this in, and he becomes a completely new torso for the combiner, and he can attach on, like, the skeleton. So, you know what? Okay, fine, I guess. That does get the whole combination combiner thing checked off the list. I'm gonna be real with you. This ain't good enough. Nexus wasn't part of a combiner. He was an entire combiner. Also, this is just ugly looking. The torso seems too small for starters. Like, it just kind of looks like he's just barely managing to get big enough to hold on to those arms. And I hate how the torso looks. Like, look at how many gaps are in there. Like, his parts are desperately trying to fill that space and look like a solid chest, and it's failing. Like, this just does not look good in any of its modes. And it's incredibly disappointing because it could have been way better. You know, at some point we need to explore how much better this could have been. But yeah, we've been up in arms about it. Is what it is. Some Prime had to be the most disappointing. It's going to be the one we are anticipating the most. I didn't mean to rant on that one so long. This is going to be a long news roundup because we got a lot of news, as I said. Takara gave us another teaser for their upcoming Overgear Ironhide and Blackout. It's just this black and white image. We still have not seen these guys in color. Now, the thing to note is you see striping on Blackout. You see highlights in front of his missile batteries. You see little spots on Ironhide that are different colored. These are fully painted. But because the photo was released in black and white, we still do not know exactly what they are going to look like. We just know that the final version is painted and apparently ready to display. And I believe they are waiting for an event. 13th of February is T-Spark live stream. So on the 13th, that is when we are most likely going to see these in full color for the first time. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see these demonstrated somehow because the concept of Transformers leaning more into like the realistic mecha aesthetic and design philosophy is kind of cool. It's something we haven't done before. And Blackout and Ironhide are fascinating choices to start it off with. So looking forward to that, but we got to wait, close to 2 weeks for this. All right, so here's the one we missed last week because I recorded early. Just as I speculated, yes, there was a battle damage, like final battle Optimus Prime, with all of the scars and cuts and bruises and cracks and whatnots that you would expect from someone who is obviously going to be repainted into a sleep mode in a future date. So the toy itself does hit the marks. I do like that the box does say one shall stand to go with the one shall fall on Megatron. Nice little touch. I like that the damage carries over to the vehicle mode, so it's not just, an aesthetic that the robot has. I'm shocked that the photographer here still did not know how to transform the legs. It's not that hard, dude. But yeah, this is actually a fun release. So it's great that they sculpted in so much of the battle damage with new parts. I really like how the midsection looks twisted. It's like it's actually going the way that like the front grille would look if like a spear went through it. Everything twisting out of the way because, it doesn't have enough support to stay in place. Really cool trick. I'm glad it works in both vehicle and robot mode, even though those are different grills. So that's a cool touch. Yeah, it's an iconic scene. So obviously this is going to be popular, especially go with the Megatron. They were put up for pre-order at the same time. So yeah, not my cup of tea, but really cool that they actually went all out on this. Add this to your dead Transformer collection soon. So we got stock photos of the upcoming Smokescreen based on Transformers Prime Smokescreen. So the toy itself, so don't get me wrong, the toy itself actually does look neat. I mean, it definitely looks like it has a more traditional Transformer, like Prowl-esque transformation going on to it, but it's got its own little twists, so it's not going to be like straightforward. It's going to be a little bit more interesting than that. But I don't know, like it doesn't ring Smokescreen to me. Like that's the big flaw for me at the moment. Like it's the fact that it's the hood forward chest. Like Smokescreen's chest smoothed itself out and rounded itself out a lot more than this. He really does just kind of look like a weird version of Prowl. Like if it wasn't for the blue, like I would just say this is Prowl. You know, the crest on the head does not help. You know, I'm looking up at my, like, I have one signed by Nolan North above my desk right now. I'm looking at it. His head has blue, not red. Can't even remember if that's accurate now or not. But yeah, it looks like a cool toy. It just doesn't look like the character I kind of expect it to look like. And it's again one of those where I'm like, I kind of more curious what it's gonna turn into and be retooled into someday. I will give him credit for the flip out gun, which is very Transformers Prime. That's a neat little touch. But yeah, looking forward to the toy, but I don't know. I don't think it conveys the character as well as I really wanted it to. This one's going to be really, really quick. Someone got their hands on the More Than Meets the Eye collection Autobot Hound. And yeah, once and for all, we confirm it's literally just a reissue of the one that ended up in the Autobot 5-pack. So if you missed out on it, this is just an opportunity to grab it. It's nice of Hasbro to release it, knowing that was the most popular one out of that entire box. I feel bad for everyone who bought this, who bought that 5-pack just for the Hound and had to figure out how to sell all 4 of those other bots, only for this to come out and render that effort useless. You did good. Don't worry. A little bit of out of Cyberworld here. So we got this weird image. So I don't know exactly where this came from, to be honest with you, but it does kind of strike me as the type of thing that was like, it looks like the background of a live stream shot, or it's like a vague display somewhere at like a toy show. There's nothing here telling me what it is. It's just a random photo someone took, and it seems to be a brand new Bumblebee toy for Transformers Cyberworld. This is Power Spark Bumblebee. You can see it's going to be a larger figure, more along the lines of Grimlock. Looks like it's got like a really big translucent plastic canopy. I'm wondering if like the smaller figures might actually be able to ride inside. That would be my guess. But there's also a branding for it. There's a branding on it for Energon Surge. What's interesting about Transformers Energon Surge here is that it's not tied to Cyberworld. And that is an Evergreen Bumblebee that they are displaying. More precisely, like it does look very much based on the Evergreen Deluxe that just got a minor repaint, and you can likely find at your Target right now. I'm super curious where they're going to go with this and what exactly Energon Surge is supposed to stand for. Also, when I said that, like, this Bumblebee, according to this listing, is apparently a $55 toy, so not Grimlock, closer to Scorponok. Jeez, that's going to be a big Bumblebee. So now we're just we get to speculate. What is Energon Surge? You know, I assume it's just going to be some fancy redeco. That's what I'm assuming. Could be wrong, though. Just a little note for Cyberworld before we move on. The Cyberchanger, Optimus Primal, and Airachnid descriptions have been released, so we have an idea of what we're getting there. The only things we really learned with these is they're 4-step changers. They're made for little kids to be able to transform very quickly. You do get a robotic spider mode when it comes to Airachnid. from robot to spider in 4 steps. Upgrade with a convertible hammer. So she's gonna hammer comes with pincers and has 2 fantastic modes. So the pincers, or I guess I can never remember what they're called, little grabbies at the front of a spider. The little grabbies. It sounds like that's going to come off to form the weapon in robot mode. So a hammer is a weird choice for Airachnid, but okay. It's the Optimus Primal that's hysterical because it still describes Optimus Primal as a truck, but the mode is inspired by a gorilla. In that, the most hysterical thing would be as if this actually pulled from Transtech Optimus Prime that was supposed to be vaguely gorilla based in vehicle mode. It would be hysterical. I don't think they'll do it, but it would be really, really funny. So we're just kind of like left to speculate. It shouldn't be too long before we get this, because these listings, this information does come from Amazon, so obviously they're getting ready to list the toys as available. And Cyberworld stuff, you know, Hasbro's marketing department doesn't care. They just put stuff out and hope people pick up on it. So I would not be surprised that this just doesn't just show up in the next few days out of nowhere. A little bit more for the more affordable side of things. So we have our first look at the Alpha Elite, Alpha Elita 1, rather. So this is going to be like the, I want to say these are the smaller ones from the Transformers Authentic line. Yeah, these tend to be very, very simple, very, very cheap, very, very hollow. You can see like her legs do not do anything whatsoever. On a Generations figure, you'd know those like big tire lumps would fold in and make her legs a lot more solid. Here, the goal really is just make a Transformer in as few parts and as cheap as possible. It's okay for what it is. You know, what it is supposed to be just a cheap figure that you can get a little kid and you don't care if it gets bashed up because it only costs you $5, that type of thing. It doesn't look bad. I think it's hysterical that this is like the closest to a proper G1 Elita 1 we've actually had, because to my knowledge, I don't think it's an RC retool. I don't think it is. And she does have a vehicle mode. She has a car mode, which is actually what she's supposed to transform into. So weirdly enough, like, this actually comes kind of close. But no, that's in the wild for the Elite 1 collectors. I'm not sure what to make of these. So Swapicons has released images of their Wave 4, which is kind of shocking because, one, I've only just started to find Wave 2 in my area, and I don't remember Wave 1 selling at all. Like, I feel like every time I went into a Walmart, and it's always Walmart, Target doesn't bother with these. Every time I went into a Walmart and saw a stack of Swapicons, it was the exact same stack of Swapicons that was there the week before, 2 weeks before, whatever. This is just like a dead toy line. I'm not even convinced Wave 4 will make it out. But this is where we're getting straight up repaints. So we've got Scorponok and Double Punch, with Double Punch being like loosely like based on his BotCon color scheme, and then Scorponok just kind of going along for the ride on that one. They form an incredibly weird looking scorpion truck thing. Like if Scorponok was actually like a reference to something, like he was a reference to like the Action Master. Like the Action Master tooling, or if like the weird, I think his colors are close to that weird repainted Scorponok from a Micromaster commercial. Still, it's a weird one. It's a really weird one. What else we got? We got Ratchet and Ironhide. I'm kind of shocked that Ratchet is taking the lead on this one, but I guess that's the easier way to go about it. It's a pretty obvious Swapicon pack. I'm not gonna lie, considering it's just them. It's the two that are always done at the same time, just coming in one pack now. I will do the funny thing and note that the box actually shows the light bar painted, and the one shown here, the stock image, does not, and or the light bar is just broken off. One or the other, it's hard to tell. But still does look odd. Something's wrong there. Actually, now that I look at that one, I think they just broke it off. I think it's just a broken prototype. God, the expression on Ironhide is so bad. I hate that expression. And then we get Rhinox and, of all things, Backstop. Backstop from Transformers Cybertron, because they needed another Rhino to put Rhinox in this toy line. Rhinox's expression is hysterical. I think it's ironic that they kind of nailed his proportions. That's kind of like a Rhinox body shape. Yeah, Backstop getting a new toy in 2026 is wild to me. But then again, this toy line also randomly gave us a Clench figure, so I guess that's just par for the course here. The Rhino, every time I looked at it, I thought it's just like, it looked like a hippo. Like, that's not how a Rhino is shaped. But whatever. He looks like a Rhino retool of a hungry hippo is what he looks like. So that's what we have for Wave 3. The other 2-pack is just Megatron and Shockwave again, just as a rerun. It's a weird run of 3. It's a weird run of 3 2-packs. Not sure I'm into it. Also, yeah, this is usually where I'm done with the news roundup. But like I said, there's a lot of news this week. And I do thank everyone for sticking through this. So it's a lot. So we got some art dumps that went on. So we got the key art for Evergreen characters. Grimlock, RC, Mirage is in here too. Shockwave. Only a few of them. And then prop things, like, okay, there's a Wheeljack vehicle mode. There's a Soundwave vehicle mode. There's a Matrix of Leadership. So nice little shots of things. If you ever wanted to see like the super clean artwork from Evergreen, here you go. Here's a bunch of it. Go nuts, go hog wild. For the people still making the TCG cards as like a fan-made project, you got some fodder to work with now, I guess. Just fun to see it. Just fun to see it and have it available. But also, some production images for Transformer 1 were also released to the internet. This was a little bit more varied. It goes anywhere between concept art to just really big show-offy pieces like this, displaying all 13 primes that were in the movie and we just didn't get a really good look at. Which, actually, if I'm looking at this, like, I definitely want to say that some of these look way more like the toys that came out than they originally were in the movie. I want to say that, like, the official movie designs were a little bit different than that. But here you go. We got all the the trackers. Sorry. I'm trying not to call them Viacons. Including, like, colors I don't think we saw before. What looks like Vector Sigma, which was not in the movie. Kind of fascinating. So yeah, just a cool little bit of history. If you really like your Transformers 1, you want really good quality shots of things, there you go. A little behind the scenes for you. We will check in on Yolo Park. Now, they're doing good stuff. We just reviewed their Tarn. That Tarn figure is amazing. Go watch that review. But here we have the color prototypes for Optimus Primal and Dinobot. Primal looks ready to go already. Like, you can tell that his parts have been painted because he's probably closer to release. Dinobot has a little bit of that going on, but for the most part, it does look like he is still a prototype. But we're getting closer, and it looks really, really good so far. I'm actually excited. Just have like a normal size Dinobot toy that, it's not going to transform, but it's also not going to have anything weird going on to it either. They also showed off a prototype for 2 combiners of all things. Now, they're not going to have combiner functionality. These are still AMK series figures, so you will build them yourself. But we are getting Defensor and, much to my shock, Computron. My favorite combiner is getting an action figure? What? What? Oh, it's kind of crazy. Like, Yolo Park's about to do some crazy, weird stuff, and I love that. You know, we'll admit, Tarn's a little bit easy, right? Tarn's such a popular character that's going to go over well no matter what. Releasing action figures of, like, Gestalts is crazy. That's a crazy move. I really hope these see the light of day. I want that Computron. I want that Computron immediately. Now, they've also showed off things from their BMK line, which are those carded, like, mostly assembled figures. And pretty simple this time. It's Jazz and it's Soundwave. Nothing really more to report about that. So you can kind of see what the line is right there. They started with the big four. Jazz and Soundwave are very obvious directions to go. You have the second of command of Autobots and the right hand of Megatron. Makes all the sense in the world to me. Also, Sound Guys. So, nice to see that line is still going. Two obvious choices. Hot Wheels has found a brand new skate figure for Transformers. It's a new Optimus Prime design. I'm kind of shocked that fingerboards are still a thing. But Hot Wheels is keeping it alive. And yeah, if you want another Transformer one, there you go. They've already done a few. But here you go. It is just another design for you. So moving on from that, we also know that there is now going to be an advent calendar for Transformers this holiday season. We have no idea what it entails, what is in it, what series it's based on, absolutely nothing. For all we know, now my gut instinct here, since they just brought them back, tiny turbo changers, just like a box of 24 of them, weird color schemes, etc. That would be my bet here, which would be really cool. And instead of doing a weird Toy December next December, we can go back to the Advent calendar versus and find something for Transformers to compete with. Could be fun. Could be fun. And to finish us off for the week, so KujiColle is doing brand new lottery giveaway pieces for Transformers, both G1 and Beast Wars. So this is one of those situations where, like, you go to a store, you pay so much to get a ticket, that ticket will net you a random prize. So, like, S-level prize here looks like gets you, like, I can't tell if it's a bag or a pillow, one or the other. But, you know, moving down the list, A rank gets you acrylic standees of some City Formers and Predaking, which is kind of cool. Acrylic standees of shots from the cartoon, also kind of cool. Those look reversible too, so that's actually a nice little trick. Even these standees and Transformers can transform in some way. You get acrylic keychains as well. I actually kind of like those designs. They remind me of Scribblenauts. They remind me of, like, if Scribblenauts could like sketch in Transformers. That bazooka of cliff jumpers. Now, all the Seekers are there. Soundwave, Shockwave. Yeah, okay. I was going to say, Autobots are outnumbered on that one. They need a Grimlock or something. And then you get simple pins as, like, your lower on your D class prizes. It's always a fun little thing. And usually these include other things like prints and, cushion cover. Okay, so that's what the S class prize is. I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, I was expecting file folders, which is like their go-to for things like this. But kind of cool if you're in Japan, you have the chance to just try your luck. Good luck to you. And that is going to be the news roundup for the week. So, like I said, tons to go through this week. Was not concerned with, like, running short on things or missing out on anything on Monday, because we got plenty to talk about. Like, this has been a kind of wild week as far as Transformer discussion goes. So you're free to have more discussion in the comment section below. I'm going to go rest my voice now. So thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.